Yesterday, I spoke of Mount Albert Edward and Father Dubuis putting a cross up there. Uh, Mount Albert Edward is in the Goilala Mountains of Papua, are the mountains of the Diocese of Morena, north of Ullaland. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office, and you're with Mission Alive, for surely the mission is alive. Up in those Goilala Mountains, they have a season they call the Fidi. And at this time, the weather is cold, wet, and foggy. Not heavy rain, light misting rain, which can go on for days. Now, up where Mount Albert Edward is, there's a pass that goes from Waitapi down in the valley, over through the pass into the Chirima Valley. And that pass, well, Albert Edward is 4,000 feet, so that pass is really quite high. Now, one time there, and in these passes, it gets cold and windy and foggy. The big thing is foggy. One time there, people were coming up from one side, and they were climbing up to the pass. And when they got to the pass, they were tired, so they sat down to rest. And then the cold got to them, and they died. It was a group of at least 8 or maybe more at one time died there. This was not a rare occasion. And of course, then the people with their beliefs would say, the spirit of the mountains got them. The spirits got them. We had a De La Salle brother up there, Brother Brendan, who used to teach at Mainahana down on the coast, and a lot of the Goilala boys used to come down. And he would often walk back with them in the Christmas holidays, walk up there to see the area, meet their parents and families. And he said always when they climbed up and they were going through one of these passes, he made sure he was the last one in line, and he would never let them stop in the pass. He would push them even though they were tired, and he was tired. He would push them to go down some distance where it was not so windy, and they'd find a bit of a rock overhang and light a fire and they'd always have biscuits or something in their bag. And he would make sure nobody got left behind and nobody stayed in the pass. And he told a story once they were going from one main station out to an outstation where they had a school, and it was this sort of weather, the Fidi, but they were following the track, what originally was the horse track. And one young fella said, I'm going to go up this way to the garden and get something to bring to the house. And they never, ever saw him again. Nobody knows what happened to him or where he went. But the cold would have got him, and the people would have believed that the spirits had got him or a sorcerer had killed him. And this was a belief. And this was part of the situation in which a lot of our people went into mission. Physically hard, difficult, and dangerous. There was in one particular place approaching the main station, there was a creek, a small creek, and if it rained, heavy rain, it would flood. And 2 priests, anxious to get to the station, went into that water and were washed away and drowned. So there was those hard physical conditions that were difficult, but also going into those situations, different culture, different fighting, different customs. And I mentioned yesterday, I think too, that when in those areas when the priests went in, the people had been fighting and were still fighting and killing each other. And this was dividing communities and dividing families. So a big word of the missionaries was to bring the peace, to make the peace. And this is what happened with the cross on Mount Albert Edward, to make the peace amongst the people. And that lasted until at one stage there was I think a killing or something, and the other side said no, it stops here, it stops now. So the work of the missionaries had a big effect in that aspect of life. So that was the mission then. The mission is still now. The mission is alive now, because there are other types of dangers, other types of difficulties that missionaries must face and we must face in all our circumstances. Thank you for being with us on mission.